Rise from your grave. It's time to roam, dear. Good to see you. You're looking refreshed as ever. I was worried you'd be out of commission for a while after we captured you last night, but you look all healed up. Remarkable. Come on, you've had enough time to lay about. It's just about dusk. Perfect time for our goals tonight. Give me your hand. Though you look fine, I realize you must be feeling quite sore at the moment. Those holy darts will cause quite a bit of damage to anyone, but especially so for one of satanic origin. There you are, nice and slow, my dear. We're in no rush for tonight. It's my goal to get you accustomed to this castle, because for now, you'll be living right here with me. Don't forget about our little deal. Both of our kingdoms face the existential threat. For once, this is not the time to be fighting amongst ourselves. Taking you in this manner wasn't my first choice, trust me. But alas, you are quite the difficult one to get in contact with. That certainly doesn't mean you're unreasonable. In fact, pardon me for my previous assumptions, but you're actually quite lovely. It's almost a wonder we were at war for so long. Too many losses on both sides. Oh well, can't dwell on mistakes of the past. Follow me just this way. I have something for you. It should be quite the help should we be forced to move during the day. I can't have a precious little thing like you burning up by accident now. I hear it's quite rude to let that happen to guests. After you, my dear. Just sit tight for a moment. I have a feeling you'll quite like this. Here we are, dear. Go ahead, put it on. I could tell you needed a nice sun hat ever since we met in battle the other day. Funny that I should be the one to give it to you. How wonderful it looks on you. Matches that outfit of yours quite well, in fact. Maybe just a bit oversized. Forgive me. Before meeting you face to face, I always assumed you were a bit taller. How adorable. Oh, nothing. Don't you worry about anything, my dear. You just sit there and look cute. Deadly as you might be, your intimidation is still destroyed by a mere hat. Now, maybe we can finally get down to business. Come along. How about you and I have a nice little walk together? We have quite a lot to talk about. We've had a continuous war between our factions for years, yet we still can't have a proper negotiation. I think you and I can tolerate each other enough for that. Glad to see you agree. You know, the truth is, I'm not even an official member of this kingdom. I was simply hired as a mercenary vampire hunter once this little dispute broke out between you and the king. Personally, I have no qualms with your kind. This was simply meant to be a job like any other. I was forced to take it at the time lest I be killed myself. Point is, I don't think we can continue like this. We'll only weaken ourselves enough to be totally wiped out by this rogue faction. There'll be nothing left to fight for if our kingdoms are both destroyed. But you already know that. My only concern is this new group. They appear to consist entirely of bloodsuckers, yet they have no allegiance to you as they've gone after your patrols all the same. I must admit, their goals are quite hard to determine. I'm just hoping to piece them together as we go along. For now, speculation is the best we can get. My apologies for bringing this whole matter up again so soon, dear. As you can imagine, it weighs quite heavy on my mind. Can continue the castle tour for a bit. I need to hold off on driving myself mad with speculation for some more time. After all, that's no way to treat a fine guest such as yourself. Follow me just down these steps, dear. Careful. Hold my hand if you must. They tend to get a bit slippery at this time of night. I wish to show you to the grand study. No doubt the most pleasant of halls in this entire castle. A wonderful place to get a bit of peace and quiet away from the main areas. Welcome. What do you say we get a nice cozy corner all to ourselves? Not like anyone else is here at this hour. Sit and relax. Make yourself as comfortable as you'd like. Allow me to dim the lights just a bit. Perfect. I hope that's better on those eyes of yours. Now, I believe we talked enough about business for a while. I'd like to know a bit more about you. Like I forgot about last night. No chance. Lips like those are enough to change a man. You certainly know that, you sly little thing. Looking for control even under these circumstances. Perhaps I'm just foolish enough to give in. After all, isn't charm a bloodsucker's most valuable tool? Just what I thought. Doesn't that collar look even more lovely on you in this lighting? Such a pretty neck. Nearly makes me want to tear into it myself. But I'll leave such a job for you. An invitation to sit with you? I appreciate the forwardness. Just remember that those spangs of yours are useless with that collar on. I at least had the foresight for that. But just how could I refuse such a wonderful offer? How cozy this is. Getting all the rush of cuddling with the former enemy. Truly a wonderful feeling. Opposites attract, I suppose. Even in such extreme cases. For being dead, you're so much warmer than I would have expected. Lovely for this cold night. How about you lay right down? I know you're still so sore from earlier. This couch is so soft. Maybe I could help ease out all those muscle aches. Only one way to know for sure. There you go, dear. Now don't worry about anything. I'll keep taking care of you. Only the best for my guests, of course. You feel quite nice to the touch. Such smooth skin. I could definitely keep this up for a while. What a pleasant surprise it is to find that you're like this. I've met plenty of vampire during my days. Most aren't exactly thrilled to see me, as you might imagine. They can be quite crass. Not like I blame them. But you've been such a pleasure to be around. A pretty face and a personality to match. I've heard many stories about you, dear. They always say you're not to be crossed. And under normal circumstances, I don't doubt that one bit. But around here, you're under my control, and you'll do just what I say. Somehow I don't think you mind that all too much. I know I certainly don't. For once, how about you take some orders instead of giving them? Oh, good little thing. My first order of business. I need you in my lap. To get a better look at those wonderful eyes of yours, of course. How am I supposed to see when you're so much shorter? Hey, I'm just being honest with you. Are you gonna let that cute little temper flare up again? There you go, nice and slow. Now isn't that just lovely? I make a nice cushion with these absolutely stupid dummy-head thick thighs, don't I? Glad you agree. Such a pleasure to have you right where I want you. How close you are to my neck. What a dangerous little game we're playing here. You can hold off on temptation just a little bit longer, can't you? We have the whole night, you know. No need to be hasty. Besides, maybe if you're really good, I might just let you have a bit of a drink. But only if you're on your best behavior. Got it? Good. I'm glad we're at an understanding. Now, how about you just sit there looking nice and pretty? All you have to do for me is relax. I'll wrap my arms tight around you. Feel my fingers press right into your back. Nice, isn't it? Such a sweet little thing. You know, this isn't a situation that I ever would have expected to be in with my mortal, or perhaps immortal enemy. But it is quite the welcome surprise. I'm always quite glad to foster more diplomatic options. The best negotiating position is to have someone in your lap after all, right? Well, there's also that position. But never mind all of that for now. It's been quite nice getting to talk to you on such an even level for once. Physically, I mean. Those eyes really are something else. Such a pretty deep red. Keep looking at me. I simply need to feel the same sensation I felt last time. I'm not sure how you do it, or what exactly it is, but it has more power over me than I realized. There it is again. Just like the other night. Perhaps that's no supernatural power of yours after all. Just some old-fashioned charm. Recording in the beat. Perhaps we can continue the castle tour for a fucking shit.